Was it staying alive, staying alive. Happy Wednesday out there, everyone. As we're all in quarantine, well, hopefully, so still here, cranking out content. You know what to do. Again, thank you very much, Jerome's, for coming along, letting us be part of your day. It really means a lot, and frankly, it's a lot of fun. Yeah, I love cranking out these fan speak 7 round Vikings mock drafts with the eye of, well, now we got to replace Diggs and potentially Anthony Harris. All right, so gonna zoom in there. So now, if you notice, I did a little thing. So I set this up under the premise that the Vikings do end up trading Anthony Harris to the Browns for the number 41 overall pick. Now, maybe they'll go for it, maybe they won't. But I think that would be a very nice get for Anthony Harris, a guy who's gonna likely leave an open free agency anyway, and then the Vikings have to wait for a 2021 compensatory pick. Nah. Let's get what it gets now. Get your questions, get your comments in. Live chat we got going on YouTube right now as well, baby. But man, this is so sexy because even though people are saying, oh, the Vikings, they let Xavier Rhodes go, they let Linval go, they let David Morgan go. Everson is going to leave, and then they trade Stephon Diggs. They're not in rebuild mode. But they do have 2 first-round picks, 2 second-round picks, 2 third-round picks as well. And God, how many picks do they have now? They have 12 overall. No, now they have 13. Jeez Louise. All right, so this is gonna be exciting. So draft needs right now: wide receiver, replace Diggs; cornerback to replace Waynes and Xavier Rhodes and potentially Mac Alexander; offensive tackle, you can put offensive guard as well. Under this simulation, we're going to say that they don't make a move for Thuney, they don't sign Wisniewski, they don't do anything like that. Edge rusher, Steve Weatherly gone, Everson Griffin potentially gone. I like how they put wide receiver again twice, as well as under this simulation, Anthony Harris is also gone, so safety would be a big need. So let's just start this thing going. And given all this draft capital, you have the potential to move up, but I think I'm going to stay put. All right, so going through top 10 per usual. Burrow, Chase Young, Derek Brown to the Lions, which seems to be being mocked to a lot. I don't know if that necessarily happens. Tua to the Dolphins. Jedrick Wills goes to the Giants. Just a big rogue raider. Dave Gettleman likes that. Justin Herbert to the Chargers. Now the Chargers have a needed quarterback. They really do. I don't think they're going to roll with Tyrod, even though I like him. I just don't see it happening. Okudah goes to the Panthers. Panthers now don't have a need a quarterback. Jerry Jeudy to the Cardinals. Wait. So you're telling me the Cardinals are going to have Nuke and Fitz and Christian Kirk and Jerry Jeudy? Okay, maybe. Javon Kinlaw goes to the Jaguars. That's a hell of a pickup. Isaiah Simmons, the very versatile defender, goes to the Browns. I think that's great as well. So right now, you look at the board. Wirfs is still there chilling. CD Lamb, Ruggs. I put Ruggs, Lamb, Simmons, Higgins on like a secondary tier in terms of wide receivers. So for me, it's Jeudy 1, and then it's Ruggs, Lamb, Jefferson, Higgins. Put Mims in there as well. Put Chenault in there 2. But I mean, this is a very, very good wide receiver class. I mean, the fact that Jalen Reagor is down here, Michael Pittman, Chase Claypool, KJ Hill, for goodness sakes, as well as Tyler Johnson is way down there. I mean, this is a great wide receiver class. So even though I am tempted to move up, I do want to come away, these top 3 picks, the 3 in the top 41, with a top tier wide receiver, with an offensive lineman, and a premier cornerback as well. Did I say cornerback? Also, safety could be in there as well. I want everything, man. I want it all. I want it all. I want it now. But just given the bounty of picks that the Vikings have, Denzel Mims went to the Raiders? Wow. No. All right, so given the Vikings did let a lot of players go, I do see the Vikings potentially just staying put and just using all those picks. Wow. Look at this. So Patrick Queen is there. Not a massive need at linebacker. You do have Bar Kendricks, as well as you tendered Eric Wilson, but that is just insane value at this point. So Tee Higgins is there. Josh Jones is there as well. Winfield's in there chilling. Grant Delpit. Did Xavier McKinney go? No, McKinney's on board as well. So, I mean, the Vikings, and this is their oyster right now. The fact that they have 2 picks in the next 4 is just really insane to me. So, we go for scarcity. What is going to be going off the board real quick? So, offensive line, you do have 2 of the top. Well, I say big 5. You could put Austin Jackson in there as well. So, I guess it'd be a big 6 offensive tackle. That'd be a great get for the Vikings. Cornerback wise, so you do have Henderson off the board. You do have Akuda off the board. Trevon Diggs also went as well. And for me, I like Bryce Hall. I like A.J. Terrell. Gladney from TCU is really solid as well. Jalen Johnson, apparently they're not as hot on him. I do like Lamar Jackson. So to me, there's a ton of value there. Same thing with wide receiver. I mean, you can't really go wrong there. And the fact that, man, all the safeties are really bunched up high. I don't know if they get to 41. But at this point, I'm going to take Josh Jones. I think day one, you just start him at left tackle, and then you kick Riley Reef into guard, or if you haven't already a couple trade offers now, it's selected another guard, go with that. So, all right, so we got Josh Jones, left tackle of the future, just an athletic freak, putting him opposite of Brian O'Neill, 2 extremely athletic bookend tackles for the foreseeable future. Now we have a choice, because like we said, wide receiver group is extremely deep, but you have Higgins, you have Jefferson up top here. Safety-wise, I don't know if one of the 3 will get there. Cornerback-wise, you feel okay. I think Bryce Hall could get to the Vikings' number 26 overall pick in the second round, or Jalen Johnson, feel perfectly fine with that there. But I think Higgins is just too tempting. Jefferson is too. Honestly, if you want to flip a coin, you can do whatever you want there. So I'm going to take Higgins. So the Vikings just standing pat and coming away with Josh Jones and Tee Higgins. I would be ecstatic with that. So you have your left tackle of the future. You have a great wide receiver project, just a massive catch radius. Just Kirky needs a tall receiver, and you're able to get that. All right, so now we're on safety watch. I just want one of the 3. Maybe all 3 will get there. We're declining trades. All right, so all 3 got there. Oh man, now this is tough. For me, I do like Delpit a little bit more than McKinney and a little bit more than Winfield. I think Winfield isn't as traditional of a safety as McKinney and Delpit is. I think he's much more of a sub-package guy. I do believe in his talent, but also he's a bit of a one-year wonder. You do have some injury concerns as well. And also, I'm not going to give him the benefit of the doubt just because he is a local kid and just because he's Antoine Winfield's kid, right? So at this point, I'm really comfortable with the cornerback room right now. I mean, Terrell, Bryce Hall, Dantzler, Jalen Johnson, Lamar Jackson, they're all sitting here chilling. So I think one of them is going to be there at 26. I don't think one of these guys are going to be here at 41 because we mentioned that the getting 41 from the Browns for Anthony Harris, that this is going to be the sweet spot for the top 3 safeties towards the top of the second round. Man, I'm going to get crucified for this. Man, ski you ma. Go Tigers. All right, so essentially you sutured up the offensive line. I don't like saying Diggs replacement, but it is what it is, as well as Anthony Harris replacement and Grant Delpit. I think pairing Delpit up with Harrison Smith is a really nice pairing. All right, so now I'm just going to look at the big board real quick. Gallimore still's in there chilling. Because you see the depth of the wide receiver group. So now we've already run through, there's probably about 10 wide receivers off the board, but Claypool is still there. DuVernay from Texas is still there. Edwards, South Carolina is still there. KJ Hill, for goodness sake, is still there. DPJ is still there. I mean, it's a lot. Plus, I mean, Tyler Johnson's still on board. I wouldn't mind circling around in the 4th round or 5th round and potentially grabbing him. But yeah, as you can see, like, I know the talk, well, how could Tyler Johnson possibly fall to the 4th or 5th round? You're seeing it. You're seeing it. Just because there's such a glut of wide receiver talent, there's going to be a lot of really good wide receivers being having their value depressed. All right, so now looking at cornerback. So A.J. Terrell just went. It's unfortunate. Arnett just went. Bryce Hall went. So I was sitting here. Jalen Johnson from Utah, perfectly fine. Slam dunk, grabbing him back into the second round. And top 4 picks out of the gate so far for the Vikings. Again, we got the number 41 overall pick, number 9 in the second round in a trade from Cleveland for Anthony Harris. So having 6 picks in the top 105, having 2 picks in each of the first 3 rounds. I mean, this is what you get just by standing pat. Wow. Now, do you still go quarterback of the future? I mean, do you do that even though you extended Kirk Cousins? I mean, given the amount of picks that the Vikings have, I think it certainly would be tempting. Ooh, James Lynch. Yeah, I do like James Lynch. He can play inside, outside. They have him listed as an edge here. I do think he brings a little bit to the table here. I would like to certainly circle around, grab him. But just looking at the big board, guard-wise, Sternberg, Jonah Jackson's there, Nathaniel Moody, John Runyon, Solomon Kinley. Lots of names there. We did mention that, grabbing a guy that does have Tyler Biadish. Yeah, I looked up the pronunciation before, but Biadish from Wisconsin, just him having some center experience as well as being able to play both interior offensive line spots, I think would be a bonus. But man, just sitting here. All right, the small school kid is still chilling. Biadish is there. Grabbing Biadish to play just your catch-all interior offensive lineman, your swing backup inside. It's really tempting. It's really tempting. It checks a lot of boxes. And the Vikings getting a premier left tackle like Josh Jones and then a guy like him. All right, so yeah, Jalen Hurts is off the board, so I guess that's a non-starter anyway. All right, yeah, I'm going to grab Biadish. Bring it on. All right. So quarterback-wise, I am interested in grabbing quarterback. I mean, you could toss a coin between McDonald and Gordon. I do like Huntley from Utah a lot. They don't have the North Texas kid Mason Fine listed, which is interesting. All right, so looking at the big board, Hunter Bryant's still there. Edge guys, Nick Cope. Man. Yeah, James Lynch just went, didn't he? Oh, well. All right, so Nick Coe sitting there chilling. Interesting. Roy, Raquan Williams. Okay. All right. Do a little bit of a reach. Grab Nick Coe for show. But, man, just the insane number of draft picks that the Vikings have right now. And, yeah, it is good that the Vikings do have this number of draft picks because there are a lot of needs. AJ Espenza. I'm not as enamored with Espenza from Iowa as some people are. Frankly, I just don't think this is a great edge class beyond Chase Young. But if he's there at 25, maybe. Like, I'm not sold on the kid. Jennings out of Alabama. Yeah, I agree. I like Cole a little bit better. Lamar Jackson, yeah. Harris to Cleveland, done deal. Nope, we're just playing around. Ryan Trey, I love the haul so far. Thanks. Shout out. Biadish. Yep. Oh yeah. I said I was gonna do homework on the NDSU edge guy, except I didn't because I'm lazy. Is he even on this board? I don't think he is. That's a little bit tilting. Anyway, all right. So back in the 4th round, let's look and see what's on the big board. So Phillips, linebacker from LSU, is there. Let's see here. Antoine Brooks Jr. I really like him as potentially like a Jaron Kearse replacement. We've drafted him a couple times before. Let's see. John Runyon, Shackleton. I mean, this is. We kind of have to, don't we? Just looking at the remaining wide receivers. Yeah. This is the makeup call for not taking Winfield Jr. in the 2nd round. So adding Tyler Johnson, circling around. So you ended up with Tee Higgins and Tyler Johnson. I think that's what happened in our draft yesterday, actually. But I would not be mad at that one single iota if that went down. Dun, dun, dun. All right, yeah, guys, keep the questions, comments coming in the old live chat. Love hearing from you guys on this beautiful Wednesday morning in quarantine land. Yeah, everyone's quarantined. This is just a phenomenal. I mean, Solomon Kinley is still on the friggin' board. Roger Washington, Braven Roy. Let's look at the big board. All right, Washington up there. Solomon Kinley is there. Man, did you just triple down on O-line? I wouldn't be mad at all. Although, looking through. Trey Adams, sure. Um, I mean, we'll grab a linebacker at some point, which is just the Spielman special. Yeah, I'm going to grab Washington. Texas Tech. Here we go. Actually, we can grab both of the Davis brothers from Nebraska later on. Be pretty great. We probably should double down on cornerback at some point. Still insane that the Vikings could potentially end up with 13, 14 draft picks. But actually, it's more insane that Thaddeus Moss is still on board in the 6th round. I think I have to make a move. Right now. All right, so proposing a trade. Who's up next? Lions? Sure. All right, so Detroit, here's the deal. Here's the dealio. You're going to give us that. We're going to give you 2 6-rounders. Proposed, trade accepted. All right. Resuming, and we're just taking Thaddeus Mouse. Get you 80. Actually, wait, did he go? No, that'd be so tilting. Thaddeus Mouse, get you 84 jerseys out. I'm back home. Although, again, to probably 84 from Irv Smith. I don't know. I don't really know. I don't expect him to be available in the 6th round, but I could see him sneaking into day 3. I know that he's got the name. He's got some game. He's got some interesting physical attributes, but I just don't really see him being a slam dunk day 1 or day 2 pick. I think he could leak into the 4th round pretty easily. So I'm liking this. Even though we made one trade, we'll just start 7th round. Coming away with John. Now we'll recap after the 7th round as we tip through the tulips. I like Perrine, just a big, solid running back from Florida. Actually, let's look through. So J.J. Taylor is interesting. Hasty from Baylor. Okay. I mean, Tony Jones from Notre Dame, sure. I'm just looking at Devaney Jr. is interesting. He's got a couple of off-the-field issues. See, the Vikings are going to be in the linebacker business, though. But who do you take at the top of the 7th round? This is tough. All right. I'm going to double down on DB and get Carter from Alabama. Tommy misspelled Kramer from Notre Dame. All right, so we are going to end up picking a linebacker. Question is, who? Come on. All right, I'm just going to take the top linebacker out of the board. Whatevs. Any positions of need left? Well, we didn't address quarterback, did we? I actually don't expect them to address quarterback at all, just because of the Kirk Cousins extension. I don't think it's going to be in Spielman's DNA. But I'll just grab one. All right, yo, there we go. So the Vikings. Now, this is, of course, contingent on getting 41 overall from the Browns for Anthony Harris. But coming away with Josh Jones, who's going to be your left tackle of the future, just extremely athletic as all hell. Pairing him with Brian O'Neill, it's really, really nice. Kicking Reef inside to guard for one season. Tee Higgins replacing Stephon Diggs. Just an amazing catch radius for Clemson. Coming at 6'4". He's got like a 7'2" person's wingspan. Yeah. Grant Delpit, the safety from LSU. We said that early 2nd round is probably going to be the sweet spot for the top 3 safeties. Bringing him in. I mean, we could have had Winfield, but I think Delpit is the better NFL prospect at this point. Also in the 2nd round, circle round, cornerback Jalen Johnson from Utah. He falls that far. So the top 4 picks for the Vikings address immediate needs, and you're getting really good value at that point. Next up, 3rd round, Attila Biadish comes in as your swing interior backup offensive lineman. Perhaps could be a starter down the line, but just adding him to Drew Samia, to Oli Udo as your stable of backup, young, up and coming offensive linemen. It's great. Also in the third round, picked up Nick Coe, the edge rusher from Auburn. Fourth round, another insane value, doubling down on wide receiver, getting TJ. Then Broderick Washington, defensive lineman from Texas Tech. Also, we trade up in the sixth. Thad Moss, come on down, baby. What's up? And then seventh round, getting some more value, Shane Carter, adding to the Zimmer loves his D-backs. There you go. Also, linebacker Michael Pinkney from the U, and then just picked up Montez from Colorado. All right, so that's it. That is the Vikings draft, 7-round Vikings mock draft. If the Vikings traded Anthony Harris to the Browns for number 41 overall. Again, thank you very much for coming along. Thank you very much for firing up the comment section. I love you guys. We're going to get through this quarantine together. Don't worry about it. We're going to be cranking out content all of the time. But the next time, Skull, production value.